Hello guys, welcome back to Saigon. Today I've come to a place called Com Tam Ba Chi Hai, and that's almost certainly pronounced wrong. It's in a little residential area, which is pretty nice, and straight away it's just open, so they are grilling the pork on the charcoal grill. We'll come back to that, but essentially it is a restaurant and it is covered, thankfully, but it is essentially a little street cart, but set just inside. You can see everything they have here. You have the pork chop. So pork chop is the famous thing that comes with Com Tam. And then you have, which I think is a speciality of this restaurant, which is pork jiao. You have pork skin, and we'll talk about that later because that's also a little special. You have different types of eggs. So you have this runny whole egg. You have the fried egg, of course. And then you have these two things. One of them, I think, is a meatloaf. That makes sense, doesn't it? And the other, I think, is an egg meatloaf or chair. But again, don't quote me on that. I'm not claiming to be the Vietnamese food expert. That's what we need Max McFarlane here for. And actually, when I'm eating something for the first time, I want to make sure it's going to be good, especially if I'm making a video. So, shout out to him. He has filmed here, he has been here, and I know it looks good from his video. So I think we're in safe hands. In terms of menu, well, it's on the wall, and if you speak Vietnamese, you're in luck. But what I did, and maybe it's a little tip, because Google Translate, when you take a photo and translate it, in Vietnamese is a bit hit and miss, I must be honest. So what I did do is I opened GrabFood and found this restaurant on GrabFood, and it has some translation, so I know a little bit of what's there, but not really that much. So I'm just gonna point at what I want. I think that's kind of what you do with Com Tam anyway, build your plate based on what you see. As I say, it is cooked over charcoal. You can see the smoke drifting up from the coals, and then the smell is amazing of that pork fat, I guess, dripping onto the coals and smoking up. You get that, you can smell it from down the street. As I got closer on the bike, so I got a Grab bike here, you could smell it as you came down the street, and you could see the smoke billowing out from the restaurant. That's definitely what you want. Large pieces of jiao are on now, guys. You see he's just snipping it up so it cooks evenly. And straight away, that fat starts to drip, as I say, drip underneath. Incidentally, the owners are here, super friendly, speak a little English, so we're saved, as I say, a little bit of help. But he is busy with takeaway orders, so we'll wait in line, Oh, we've steamed up. Broken rice, look at that. A little bit of everything. And this one, sorry, remind me of the name of this.
Yolk egg of salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Salted egg yolk in the middle and meat on the outside.
Fried egg.
Fried egg,
Yeah.
We're going for
Skin
4
pork.
times eggs.
Skin pork.
And this you have Tabasco in, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I read about this, so I saw in the video. This is the jiao, the neck.
Pork.
What an amazing cut, guys. Oh my God. Look at that.
Crispy.
Yes. Fatty, crispy, juicy.
Okay. Yes, exactly.
That's it. And then this is a little bit of the chop. This is cut from the rib, I think. And this is the chop. Again. Get that chopped up. And then one of these.
Poached egg.
Oh my. Look at that. Look at that. And if that wasn't enough, guys, we have scallion oil, or spring onion oil for us British people. And then some pickles.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cabbage, carrot, and cucumber.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Look at that. What a dish. What a plate. Come on. Thank you. And a little bit of dipping sauce to go with it.
This one, fish sauce.
Ah, fish sauce.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Water,
Thank you.
sugar.
Look at that, guys. That looks incredible. It's lucky it's my first and probably only food of the day, isn't it? Because, well, look at the portion size. But as I said, a little bit of everything. We've got a bit of that jowl, a bit of that chop. We've got a fried egg. We've got a slow cooked, or like almost to me looks like a bit of a Japanese style egg. We've got the pickles and the broken rice and the dipping sauce on the side. Let's get into it. Where do we start? What I think we should do, or what I've seen that you're meant to do, is move everything to the side, as hard as that is. And I should say, actually, she didn't put the cha on, so we now have some of that egg loaf, that omelette, basically, that thick omelette. So we've got 4 eggs now, but move everything to the side and then get some of that dipping sauce on. It's fish sauce, but I am going to adorn it with some chili. Some chili, because you know I like it spicy, so we'll get that in there. In fact, I can't be bothered to move the camera, so you're going to see me. This is what I'll do. I'll take a little shot of that chili, and you'll see it over the top. Thank you. Ah, what is this?
Lemon.
Wow. And then little bits of
Okay, simui.
like dried plum. Oh, wow. Okay, we've got the drink. The drink you have to have with it too. Oh, wow, that is amazing. Wow. Make sure you order this. He'll know what you're going to order. Anyway, we'll get that fish sauce and that chili onto there. In fact, we'll go for it. Why not? And then give it a mix. I'm tempted to break the egg in, but I do want to try the individual components as well, if I'm trying it for the first time. All right, nicely mixed up. And you can see, actually, I'll show you whilst we're here, you can see this rice. This rice is not the full grain of rice. It's called broken rice for a reason, and you can see that. You can see in its texture and in its shape. Basically, it started off as a very worker's dish. It was the rice that couldn't be sold, the broken parts of the rice, and then the dish was created to make more profit, I guess, sell every bit of the produce that they have. And now it's really taken over, especially in Saigon, but all over Vietnam, really, and you can find it absolutely everywhere. I must admit, I thought the texture was going to be different. It is. I mean, it's slightly sticky, but also individual, as it were. I thought because it was broken, it would be starchy and gloopy, and it's just not that at all. So let me just get a flavor for the rice first. Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting that texture. It is much more individual and grainy than I was expecting. But with that fish sauce and that chili, oh yeah, that chili's good. It packs a bit of a hit. Already, I'm liking that. I don't really know where to start, to be honest. I guess we should try a little bit of the pork. Let's go with the traditional, or the most common, the pork chop. And you can see how thin that is. And they have left the char on there, which I'm glad, because that's the bit I love. So we get some of that broken rice and some of that pork chop. Yes, the flavor, salty, sweet, fatty, smoky from that grill. But that rice is so good with it. So good with it. And let's get onto some of these eggs. Start with the char. The omelette, the thick omelette. Oh wow. There must be some pork in there. It's very meaty. Almost maybe like fatty pork or pork fat in there. That in itself, I could eat that in itself. That is a meal in itself. I thought, you know, maybe it's just going to be like a standard omelette. Maybe it's going to be a bit boring on the side, but not a bit of it. Absolutely packed with flavour. Onion in there too, for sure. That is great. But I've got my eye on that soft, set egg, almost, as I say, like an onsen egg. And I want to have that with some of that pork and some of that scallion oil. And take a little bit of that scallion oil and put it on the egg, with some of that rice, and a little bit of that pork. I have a feeling that's going to be the way. Unbelievable. That egg as well is marinated in something. But that spring onion oil lifts it, elevates it. Really nice. I am loving this dish, guys. It was worth the wait, I must admit. It's 5 o'clock now, and it's been thunderstorming all day, heavy rain. I was looking out going, when will I go? When will I go? Will I go? But it was worth the wait. The triumph of this dish is that individually, and I haven't even tried the jowl yet, guys, But individually, this stuff is fantastic. Quality is amazing. But I think when you start to put it together, that's when it takes it to the next level. Look at the gummy, runny egg yolk. I want to get a bit of that because that egg has been fried to perfection. It's almost like a Thai style egg. And I'm going to stick with, because we know the flavor, I'm going to stick with some of that pork chop, but a fatty piece of pork chop. And of course, some more of that rice. Come on. That is unbelievable. This might be one of my favorite dishes that I've eaten in Vietnam so far. But I think it's finally time to try some of that jiao and just look how moist, how fatty, seared on the outside, moist and delicious on the inside. Let's try it. Oh my word. The pork chop is fantastic, and if you had this com tam with just that pork chop, I think you would be happy. That jiao is unbelievable. It's fatty, it's flavorful, it's tender. As you chew it, just breaks away in your mouth, but it releases so much flavor. And because he's looked after it, as I say, he was taking them off individually from the grill. Because he's looked after it, it's cooked absolutely perfectly, and it's so smoky, so sweet, so salty, so rich and bold in flavor. That's why you come here. That is why you come here, guys, for the jiao. I see it now. He was just asking me what I thought about it. And of course, right, I think you guys already know, I love it. But I think it's kind of ruined it for me now, because if I eat com tam at all in the future, which I will, I'm going to be comparing it to this one. Am I going to get as good as this one in Saigon? Maybe you think I will. I'm not so sure. It's pretty damn good. The best I've had, for sure. The only one I've had. Anyway, this pork skin. I've had pork skin before. I love pork skin. You can see stringy. If I can get it to focus, there you go. Stringy pork skin. What she's done with this one to make it more interesting is she's added Tabasco. Yeah. Delicious. Delicious, because pork skin, it doesn't really have that much flavor. Adding the Tabasco brightens it right up. And as I say, this dish is all about different dimensions, different textures, different flavors. You can add them together, you can eat them individually. You just want to keep picking away at it. All right, final component that I've not tried is this meat. This meat, kind of like, well, I don't really know what it is, like a meat cake, I guess, with the salted egg yolk on the inside. You can see. Let's try that. Come on, what is with this place? You might think I'm just saying that because the owner's behind me and I'm hungry and I just say I like everything. But genuinely, everything here is unbelievably good. You can see, by the way, I'm polishing it off, to be honest, to see what I think of it. All right, Joe, say you liked it without saying you liked it. I think that's the answer. Absolutely destroyed it. What a meal, what a place, what a com tam. If you're in the area, make sure you come and check it out. If you're not in the area, make sure you come and check it out. It's that good, or I'm that happy with it, I'll vouch for it. Not just Max.